In this part, we're going to designate a determinate job for a specific node. We have the ability to designate any of these available nodes in the network and set it aside for a selected duty. Therefore, we'll be able to specify the hardest tasks for the faster machines, for instance, and to save the lighter ones for the weakest in this case. Let's take a look at this picture here, where we can distinguish clearly three levels. In the upper level, we have two trickles of water, and they're colliding one on each other. They're interacting together. All of the fluids that are interacting together must be simulated in the same RealFlow machine, in the same RealFlow instance. Whether using RealFlow GUI or RealFlow Nodes, if they are interacting together, they must be simulated in the same RealFlow instance. And in this area, we have possibly the hardest task, the hardest stuff, and we will simulate this area here with an object emitter. We are going to create this geometry and select some different faces that are going to create particles. And for the bottom area here, we are going to sort this surface with a real wave. Possibly it's going to be the fastest task of all the group of all in the scene. I mean, we're going to clearly designate this real wave for the MacBook Pro in this case, because it's going to be the faster. We will simulate locally the medium here and the two trickles remotely in next limit 02. Okay, we're going to open the RealFlow scene, and we have here the two circles emitter. Let me put this guy in the bounding box. We have these two circle emitters here, and we have the object with this geometry and some alternative faces that we have previously selected. Let's put this guy in bounding box, and here you have this object emitter in this case. And in the bottom level, we have the real wave, a circular real wave in this case. You know that the real waves are square by default, but we can customize, we can define a shape with this tab right here. Okay, so we're going to set three different IDOCs in this case. And we're going to insert these two circles here, the hard stuff in the IDOC number 2, and finally the real wave in the IDOC 3. Okay, I'm going to save this scene, and we're going to open the Job Manager web interface, and we're going to add a new job here. In the file path field, we're going to set the path of the FLW file or RealFlow script that we want to run. But for make things faster and quite clear, I'm going to open this notepad window here, and we're going to transfer the path of the FLW file. We're going to set it right here. And as we know, if we're using different operating systems, we must set these path translation rules in order to let the job manager know where in the network is located the file, and in turn transfer this information to the designated node, job node, in its own language, in its own operating system networking path. I'm going to simulate the real wave, this part here, in the Mac machine. So I have to set the Mac path translation rule, but also, as my job manager is currently running remotely in a Windows machine, I will need to set the Windows path translation rule
for Windows 2. Otherwise, the job manager won't be able to locate my FLW file in the network. Okay. So let's translate this part of the path the following ways. For Windows, we'll set something like that. For Mac, we're going to put it this way. And in this case, we have no Linux machines, but if we want to take a look at how will be the path, it's pretty much like that. Okay, I'm going to set this in the path prefix, and the same thing for Windows and Mac this way. Okay, I'm going to set the Mac here 14, and I'm going to specify here that I want to simulate the IDOC 3 where the RealFlow real wave is in. And finally, let's make sure we're going to use the last RealFlow version. Let's submit the job, and it's currently simulating. I'm going to do the same thing for the rest of the tasks. I'm going to add the new path here. In this case, I just need the Windows translation row here, and with the prefix, obviously. Okay, I'm going to specify the 13 machine to handle the upper area IDOC 01. With RealFlow 2012. And finally, we'll do the same for the local machine for next limit 01. Translating that part of the path to this way, assigning the 11 and specifying the IDOC 2 in this case. Okay, so now the three machines are currently holding its respective tasks, and I'm going to skip until the job is done.
Okay, let's get back to the RealFlow scene, and I'm going to set the iDocs active, and I'm going to update the timeline cache. And here we have, if I scrub along the timeline, here we have the different fluid elements that we have previously calculated, the object, the real wave, and here we have how the two trickles are interacting together, the object emitter calculated separately, and the real wave calculated separately in the MacBook Pro. Let me bring here a preview animation that I previously generated, and here we can see the different elements in action. And this is pretty much what we were looking for. Let me bring back the image, and this is what we call the Baroque bronze at midnight. And I know something's clearly wrong in the title, as these symbols are not Baroque, are clearly Victorian. But anyway, this is a Maxwell render where we can easily tweak the lights. We can, once the render has been created, we provide some sort of sliders to tweak the different lights. And now, yes, midnight. And finally, we have the ability to set even different colors for the light, intensity, etc. Maybe party time this time. Okay. In the next part, we are going to take a look at a simulation with some hybrid elements, our technology for mid to large scale simulations. Probably this will be a scene suitable for hybrid if we want to get much more rich elements such as foam, even mist, or to tweak the splashes. And we will take a look at it, and we'll be with you in a moment.